Hey guys, it's Pastor Ken, and I'm so excited at this year as we enter into the 21 days of prayer and fasting. As you know, the direction for this year is to get better, to deepen our root system. So the first area that we're looking at as we go through this end is developing our inner lives, our personal relationship with God. What I want to talk to us about is developing a lifestyle of prayer. Jesus is the one we're following. He set a model for us of what it means to have a prayer life. See, a prayer life means dialogue, not monologue. Too many people with prayer, it's just going and giving God all your frustrations, telling him all your desires. But no, we should expect God to communicate with us, to direct us, to guide us. And so listen to this, and out of the life of Jesus. In Mark chapter 1 and verse 35, it says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off into a solitary place where he prayed. Three simple things out of this one scripture I want to give you about developing a lifestyle of prayer. Number one, you have to have a certain time. In other words, making an appointment in your calendar every day. God, this is when we're going to meet. Jesus got up a great while early in the morning before light came up. You know, when I was a new Christian, people used to tell me, the only time to really have intimate prayer with God was early in the morning. But I'm encouraging you to know yourself, because at the time in my life when I was a young Christian, I was a night person. I was most alert, most attentive at night. That's what I'm asking you to give God, because when I'd get up early in the morning to pray, often I'd fall asleep on God, then feel guilty and walk around with that condemnation during the day. No, know yourself. Have a certain time that's your best time. Give God your best. Number two is have a certain place. Jesus went out into a solitary place. You need to have a place that you can be alone with God without distraction. In my house, I have a room upstairs. It's where I study, but it's also, I have a chair there where I pray. When the Bible talks in the New Testament about a prayer closet, it doesn't literally mean going in the closet. It just simply means having a place where you're distraction free, where you can be intimate and share your heart with God. So you got to have a time, you got to have a place. And thirdly, you got to have a certain plan. This is what frustrates so many people. How do I pray? How do I learn to pray? Well, the Bible has prayer plans. One of them Jesus gave us was what we call the Lord's Prayer. It's where Jesus taught us a model about prayer. He taught us to come and acknowledge God for who he is, to worship God. And I'll tell you the truth, when you learn to acknowledge and spend time worshiping God, the problems that you may bring to God will look far less big than they truly are. Because no challenge you bring to God is bigger than him. The Bible said, if God be for you, then who can be against you? Then it teaches us, pray God's priorities. God gives us the chance to bring our desires, our needs to him when he says, give us this day our daily bread. But he also then teaches us, keep our heart clean. There are times that we need to find forgiveness from God. And sometimes we need God's help because there are other people we need to forgive. But this last one has been so important to me. Lead me not into temptation, but deliver me from the evil one. In Psalm 91, it says, deliver me from the snare of the fowler. In other words, know that the enemy is going to try to set traps and derail your walk with God. But when you spend time communicating with your Father, he prepares you so that you can avoid those things, so that you don't get caught up in those things, so that you don't derail God's plan for your life. So that's why I want to encourage you out of this simple truth to developing a lifestyle of prayer. Have a certain time, have a certain place, have a certain plan, because that's my prayer this year. You would get better, that this would be your best year ever, and watch the amazing things that God is able to do through you.